Yeah.
All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody. We're waiting for folks to join in here. People usually sort of trickle in, but we'll do our intros with our very special guest today. We've got Mari Lyra, and we'll talk to her. And I don't even know how to pronounce your last name. Is it Lyra?
Lira. It's
Lyra.
Mari
Lyra.
Lyra. It's
Lyra.
Portuguese.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
should have asked you that. I keep calling you Marie, and I forgot to
It's
ask you how
okay.
to
It's
pronounce your
okay.
last name.
Everybody calls me. Yeah.
Lyra.
hmm
Okay, that is such you have
hmm
such a pretty name. And yeah,
Thank
we
you.
will wait till people join. I don't think people are on here yet. But Marie, I was telling you about while we're waiting for people to join. I was telling you about a funny dream that I had this morning. So
Yes.
I woke up around about 4 o'clock in the morning, and you know how when you're doing a live stream or you got some event that you're thinking about, you're like kind of all stressed a little bit. So I was thinking about it for a while, and then I fell asleep again. And while I was sleeping, I dreamt that you were in my backyard, not where I am right now, but on the other side of my backyard. And I'm like, "Oh, Marie, you're here!" And you're like, "Yeah, ready for the live stream?" I'm like, "Yeah."
That would be
And then
awesome.
and then you look at your watch and you're like, "You know what? We're 10 minutes late." And I'm like, "Shoot, my watch is slow," you know. And I was so stressed, and I'm running to the other side to get my stuff up, and I'm like, "Maria, are you gonna call in from here?" And you're like, "No, no, no. I'll call in from the same computer that you're going to be talking through." And I'm like, "Yeah, that'll be good." And then you stand up and you're like 7 feet tall. Okay.
Oh, I wish I was
And then,
7 feet.
and then I'm like, you know what? We're not going to fit in the same thing. We're going to get the angles all wrong. How about you call in from wherever you are? So I thought that was really funny.
You know,
You're
our
not seven
brain
feet
when
tall, are you?
yeah, no, I'm 5'7". I'm
Okay.
not, so yeah. But it's funny how our brain does these things when we get anxious. It happens to me too before a big
Oh
thing that I
gosh,
have to go
yes.
to.
And I was very stressed when I woke up. I'll tell you that. So fortunately, woke up and then I kind of got my act together.
It's going to be great. I'm so happy to be here and talking to you and to your audience. So I think it's going to be
Wonderful,
great.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll do a little intro. So today we are going to have some fun topics that we're going to discuss about our green stock. You can see Marie's got her beautiful green stocks behind her. We'll do a cute,
A few
a
of
quick
them.
little, yeah, we'll do a quick little intro for Marie in just a bit, and then we're going to be talking about how we're going to sort of ramp down our summer garden and ramp up our fall garden. For those of you that are growing, it's going to be exciting. We will also talk about how we can handle that sort of interim period where you've still got summer crops that are producing, but you kind of want to get your fall garden going. We'll discuss about what we're planting. I'll talk about mine. Marie, you can talk about yours. And then we'll talk a little bit about refreshing and fertilizing the soil and what are the techniques that you do. Maria and I were talking before this, and she's got some really interesting techniques that are very different than mine, so we'll talk about that. And I've also got a list of questions that I pulled from Instagram. Greenstock posts on their stories about their sales and things, and they recently, like a couple of days ago, they did an FAQ on the upcoming warehouse sale, October 1st to 21st. They've got a warehouse clearance sale, so they did like 7 or 8 questions, and I jotted them down. So we'll go through those questions as well. And then Marie, we've got a fun game too. I haven't told you about that, but we're going to do
Ooh,
that.
surprise.
You're going to find out with the rest of our audience over here. But
Okay.
before we jump into the intro, people on the call who are watching, I can see the number starting to tick up here. Do say hello and tell us where you're from. We'd love to hear from you. And in the meanwhile, I'd love for Marie to introduce herself.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everybody. So, I'm Mari and I'm in New York. I'm in the East Coast, so very different than Paris. I think it would be nice to have a perspective. I am a chef and a gardener. I started gardening about 5 years ago and I was in New York City before, so Greenstalks were a big part of my gardening that I was have been, and they enabled me to grow a lot of food in a smaller space that I had. I've since moved to a bigger property, but I still rely heavily on them to grow my food. And I also have a YouTube channel if you want to check it out. I do mostly gardening, but I'm trying to do some cooking also, some more cooking in the videos since the garden's been abundant this year. So I'm going to try to get Tara to do a cooking collab with me, putting her on the spot live on this video.
That
So,
sounds terrific. I've got
yeah.
Marie's YouTube channel up on the screen, so please go ahead and subscribe. She's got some absolutely phenomenal content. And you know how
Thank you.
when gardening is sort of ramping up and then ramping down during fall, and then Marie, you've got the cooking thing to take over, when the garden is ramping down. So that's awesome.
Yes.
Let's see if uh, you guys. So here's another thing. We are doing StreamYard, which is a new software that I'm using for the first time. Usually, I just use YouTube's streaming software, but they don't. YouTube streaming software does not allow you to bring other guests on. So I'm using this new software called StreamYard. I'm doing a little trial thing over here with it. So if I goof around, whatever, make mistakes, if the audio is bad, whatever, do let us know in the comments. And yeah, definitely introduce yourself. I see Mary Margaret from Louisiana. Oh wow, we got someone from the
Oh,
South.
amazing food
Awesome.
there. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. So let me just say, tell us where you are from and whether you are growing a fall garden. Awesome.
That's a great question.
Okay. All right. So let's start with that question for us as well, Marie. Are you growing a fall garden this year, and what are you excited about?
Yes, I am. Since I am in a new location, this is going to be a first for a fall garden for me. I am excited to learn about my new climate, keep learning. It's a very interesting year for us. But I love to grow greens in the fall. Asian greens, not only lettuce, but a lot of the like jimisai, tatsoi, bok choy. They grow fast and they usually are very delicious. And I like that I can use them cooked. I don't really feel like eating a lot of fresh like salads in the fall. So I think but I know a lot of people love it. But for me, like kale and spinach and bok choy, sweet chard, all of these are really what I crave to eat, to cook with in the fall and to eat it. So that's why it's going to be the bulk of my fall garden. I am not trying any big stuff like cabbages and broccoli and cauliflower. I missed the window. I was a little bit too busy or cold here. So for us, quicker crops will perform better. And also root vegetables like carrots and beets and radishes. They'll all be part of my fall garden.
What's the cutoff for you to plant like broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower?
I think from farmers around me, they plant that. Broccoli is a bit quicker, but cabbage and cauliflower, they plant that in mid-July, which sounds crazy because it's so hot here. But they say they take the garlic out and they already put the brassicas in so they can mature in October because our frost here, fortunately, it's mid to late October. So now it's like 6 weeks we're gonna have frost already.
Oh
I,
boy.
I, I know they survive, but they grow slow. So if you want to like
Yeah.
get a mature cauliflower head and stuff, you should try to do it before
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
window comes.
Yeah.
But I'm still
So
learning. Yes,
it's
in
exactly,
this
and
region,
isn't that fascinating? Because you used to live
in New York
from
City,
in New York City, and now you're further out in the suburbs, and even that you're
upstate.
seeing a big contrast, right?
Yes, I am 1 hour north from where I was before, but in New York City we had the urban island effect, so it was a lot warmer than the surrounding rural areas. So about that would be about 10 degrees hotter, and I also had a south-facing backyard with lots of concrete, so I think I was like 20. I was so warm. Our last frost in the city was about December for the 4 years that I left there, that I lived there. Last year was a bit colder there too, but I was already in this new location. And what was difficult for me there was sunlight because we started losing sunlight about mid-November, and that would also slow down our fall crops. So fall has always been a bit of a challenging time for me.
Yeah.
People prefer than spring garden. I have had better luck with spring gardens than fall gardens, but I am determined to learn,
Hey,
to figure out, Oops,
it's
I'm sorry.
all about gardening experiments. That's what it is. That's part of the biggest fun for me as well.
Yeah,
Um,
that's honestly what keeps me engaged. It's like it's always learning. There's always something I love that's like every year it's different and you
right.
learn from it. So it's like, okay, maybe I planted too late. Next year I'm gonna try 2 weeks earlier or
Yeah.
whatever. It's always
Yeah.
constant experimentation and learning and I
Right.
love
And
that.
and you know what the bummer is, Marie, is if you miss the window for certain vegetables, it's like you gotta wait a whole year to try again,
I
right? So
know.
that's the
But
hard
there's so
part.
many seasons. I find it interesting. I like it. It's okay for the fall, but then I can
That's
try
right.
again in the spring, or in the summer. That's a
That's
diff.
right.
So even though there is a bummer, it's still you keep busy in between, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like Yeah,
Absolutely. And we've got
yeah.
Roots and Reboots. Hello. She says she's a fan of both of us. And I'm curious,
Ah.
as you guys log into the call, I see more and more people joining. Tell us whether you found this YouTube live stream from my channel, Green Love, or whether you found us from Marie's channel, which is Marie's Garden and Kitchen, right?
Yeah, smart gardening kitchen. I try to put the community post, but I don't have as much reach in there yet. So
Yeah.
hopefully I'll be
Yeah.
able to bring more people over with time.
You know
Yeah.
what's interesting, Maria? I know that you've got a much bigger Instagram following, but I feel like Instagram is just so much better for engagement. YouTube, it's
Hmm.
kind of they don't show like I post community posts as well. I think they show it sometimes, they don't show it sometimes, and yeah, it's like hit or miss, right? So I don't
I
really
agree.
know what the best way to communicate like important, like quick turnaround kinds of things. Like we're having a
Yeah.
live stream tomorrow. I mean, if I post a YouTube short, will people see that? Or should I post a community post? Does it even show my community? So, not really sure. That's why I like Instagram because Instagram, at least, it feels like they engage more. I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
I like it. I also share the same struggle with, I don't want to post like a full YouTube video just to say they're going to be on a live or this stuff. But I feel like YouTube likes a long format. I'm not sure. But
yeah,
Instagram, I have a different audience because when I was a chef in New York, I have it's a lot of my private chef community. So I don't think a lot of my Instagram followers are watching me for gardening on YouTube. It's more for
yeah,
food. So it's an interesting dynamic that I have there.
yeah,
But here on YouTube, I do a lot more gardening because I enjoy doing gardening and I love being outside and it's easy
yeah.
for me to film the gardening videos. So I have more gardening than cooking content, interestingly enough. But
Absolutely. Hey,
yeah.
I see our friend Asia has joined us. Hey,
Ah,
Asia.
great to see you. Oh,
Yeah,
to know that you're
everybody
here.
loves Asia, you know,
Yeah,
so
a
thank you
wonderful
so much.
channel too.
Yellow Door Urban Homestead. Follow Asia. She's amazing.
Amazing. I love her channel. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Roots and
Mhm.
Reboots loves us, Marie. So, it's nice to be loved. Yeah,
Yeah.
my fall garden is kind of interesting. I've got almost like multiple seasons going because I garden year round. Number one, California. So
I
we
love
don't we
that. I
don't
want
we
to
don't
learn
catch
now
a
about
break.
it. Yeah.
We don't catch a break. The lowest temperature that we ever get to is usually in the February, early to mid February timeframe, and we drop to like 28 Fahrenheit. That's like a really, really cold day, right?
Wow.
We don't drop lower than that. Though once we had snow, though, which is kind of weird, or ice or something like that. We do have
Hmm.
frosty nights, but it hovers around, between 28 and 31, 32. That's the lowest it gets to. So we
Hmm.
actually have the opportunity to garden not just year round, but you can almost try multiple times, right? So,
Oh,
for
that's
example,
wonderful.
yeah, I love growing. I'm still trying to catch the perfect window because to get ahead of cauliflower or cabbage or broccoli, you got to start it at the right time. Otherwise, if you hit the colder days, they kind of go dormant, right? And then they
Yeah.
they, they
They
don't
grow
die like
slow.
you said, but then they
Yeah.
just kind of do practically nothing until the weather warms up again. So,
And then they bolt right
and then
away. For
for
me, at
us,
least.
for you
Yeah.
are absolutely 100% right.
Yeah.
Spring is like that, it's gone, and summer
Hmm.
is here. We get hardly any spring. So for me, my best chance is to plant seeds now for whatever I want to grow,
Oh,
because
how
if I
wonderful.
miss
Even for broccoli, sorry, for cauliflower and cabbage. That's so
everything,
nice.
radish, everything,
How
radish
wonderful. Yeah.
radish because of the quick turnaround for the smaller
So
varieties,
fast.
I get that.
Hmm.
But if I want to grow like larger radish varieties, now is when I need to plant them. I
Like
cannot plant them in
daikon.
spring. Yeah. So, and then
Oh.
carrots are the other thing,
Oh,
right?
I never really did daikon and large radishes, but I'll try this year too, in
What's
spring.
that? Say that?
I want to try some larger radishes this year too, so
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
keep you posted.
I'm interested. Like, people at my
Hmm.
home really love the daikons and all of that, but
Hmm.
those take a long time to grow. I mean, I guess you could pull it out earlier and enjoy it, but if you
Hmm.
really want those large, radishes like you get in the grocery store, I know I go to like the Indian grocery store. We love our radish, our daikon radish. It's like, oh my gosh, 2 feet
It's
long,
huge.
right?
I saw they're like so thick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
How do
want
you
to. Yeah.
how do
Mhm.
you ever get that kind of size? So, oh, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Sunshine Country Chickens. I'm seeing
Mhm.
so many new, people on the call today. I think a lot of them have found this live stream from you,
I
Marie. So
think
thank
Asia also
you.
just posted. I got a notification that I think she posted on her channel that we're doing this live stream
Oh,
community
that is
post.
so
Thank you
sweet.
so
Who
much.
did that?
Yeah.
Who did that?
I think Asia from
Asia did.
Yellowstone.
Asia,
Yeah.
thank you so much. You are the best.
At least it appeared for me here. That's what I saw the little
Oh my
screen
gosh, that
coming
that
down.
is so
Mhm,
sweet of you. Very, very kind.
mhm.
Thank you so much. So maybe a lot of people are jumping in from because they want to chat with Asia in the chat. They don't want to see us, Marie. They want to see Asia.
Which is yeah.
No, I'm sure that everyone loves green stocks. That's
Mhm.
what kind of holds us together here. But yeah, so I was talking about the cauliflower, the cabbage, and all of that. I
And
actually
carrots.
grew in the green stock last year.
Mm.
Now I didn't get very. I grew Romanesco. Romanesco
Oh,
grew really well for me
so
last year.
beautiful.
They're so
Yeah,
pretty, aren't they? Yeah, and it
yeah.
grew, and I just couldn't bear to harvest it. It was the first time I was growing it. Grew well in the green stalk. It kind of made the green stalk look a little lopsided, because it
So
was so
heavy.
large. It grew on
Uh,
one side, and then so I'm like, okay, this year because for me the green stalks also need to look beautiful, right? It's not
Me
just about
too.
what I can
I'm
harvest.
all about it. I'm all about like I love because they give like great vertical interest, make the garden look pretty. So I always have to put flowers in there or like put things that match.
Yeah,
Just if like
yeah.
mine are not looking the greatest right now because the season, but I always plan them around looking nice too.
Oh
Put a
gosh.
purple bok choy in there together with a cauliflower to make it nice.
Absolutely.
You
And what
know.
about flowers? What about
Oh
flowers?
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I love the marigolds on them, and
I
yeah,
love flowers. And, so this year, so the experiment that I'm going to be doing this season, like fall as well as maybe in summer, I'm going to try to grow like single variety types of things because I usually just plant a whole bunch of different things and see what sticks. But
it's a
this
great
year,
idea.
like I know that you are planting carrots, like all
Yes,
carrots in
for
one
for the
time.
first time I did all everything with stock because usually I like to mix and match, but now I have a bit of a luxurious time and more space. Before I was very limited, so I wanted to have more variety. So I did do a 3 tier of all carrots, and they have all sprouted. It's so nice
Yeah.
already.
That is
Yeah,
so
so
cool.
I'm excited.
Carrots are tricky. Carrots, I think a lot of people. I don't know about you where you live, but because we in California here we're hot, 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 dry, 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 right? So if we start carrots at the wrong time, I'm finding myself like 3 times a day coming and making sure that the seeds are wet. So I have
Hmm.
a trick. I have a trick that I use consistently, and I've been doing this for like 4 years now, and it's probably one of my most popular videos
Hmm.
on YouTube as well to start carrot seeds. Now, some
Hmm.
people will disagree and some people will say, oh, great idea. But I put it in a little baggie with a little bit of soil, potting soil, and or even vermiculite. Vermiculite works
Hmm.
great. And then I leave it on my kitchen counter for like 5 days. 5 days, tops. They all start to get those little teeny tiny tails poken out. And you have to
Hmm.
catch it at the right time because you wait one day, it's
They're too long.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's long and tangling up, right? So you got to get it right when it sprouts, and then you just sprinkle it, And the nice thing is because it's kind of mixed in with soil and or whatever you medium you used, it doesn't clump together as much. So you don't have to do
I'm gonna try
whatever
that.
that's called. What do you call it? You prick it out or you
Thinking,
thin it,
thinning,
thin it,
thinning.
thin it. You
Yeah,
don't have to thin it as much because
yeah.
they are relatively evenly spaced. A little bit you'll have to do, but that has worked for me over and over and over
I
again. I
love
grow
them.
great carrots with that method. So that's a tip for you guys if you're having trouble. Let me look at the comments here. I'm on
Hmm.
TT. What is TT roots and reboots? I don't know what TT is.
Hmm.
Do you know, Marie, what TT is? We're talking about
No.
what channels we have, but what
Mm-hmm.
social media channels we're on. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. Anyway, let's go to um the summer wrap up. Okay, what's
Hmm.
still producing, Marie, in your green stocks?
Peppers, doing great. I
Yes,
love doing peppers on my green stock, and they usually produce all the way to frost for me. At least they did last year until when I was in the city.
right.
So lots of peppers still producing. I don't really plant tomatoes on my green stock. But I prefer to give the space to peppers and let me see, herbs. I love growing herbs. For summer, mostly grow peppers. I have two here with
Nice,
peppers.
nice.
I
What
have
kind of peppers? Hot
nasturtiums.
peppers or sweet peppers?
I'm doing a mixture this year. I have some jalapenos because I like to can them to pickle them for the
Oh,
winter,
nice.
and then
Uh-huh.
I have some. Let me just turn this. Some of these long ones, they're sweet. I'm gonna harvest
Oh,
one.
is that Jimmy Nardello?
No, I have a Giminardello in the back one. This
I
one
love
is like a Corbassi, I think. They're
Corbaci.
not Corbaci.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Yeah, they are. sweet, but I find that they're great for cooking. So I don't really like using red bell peppers in my cooking much. So I'll just slice this and saute with onions and garlic and use as a base for stews or, or some
So, so Komal,
braises and things like that.
I think I'm
Or stir
growing.
fry.
Let me actually take
Smells
my.
so good. It's very fragrant, it's like it has a bit of a fruitiness. It's not as doesn't have a thick flesh like a bell pepper,
Yeah,
but I think I prefer to cook with those than with just bell. I don't grow bell peppers.
yeah.
What
I,
are
I
those?
mean these. I don't know about the one that you're growing, but the thing about these is their skin is pretty thin. I'm not sure. I think these are Jimmy Nardellos, but I think I'm also growing
I have a Jim
Corbata.
Nardello. I think I have one ripe Jim Nardello. I'm gonna harvest to
Uh,
show you guys. It's
yeah,
got
yeah,
pretty big.
yeah. They grow so long. I think mine is like 18 inches long, my longest one. Yeah, they grow so, and they're so delicious too. That's a Jimmy Nardello.
That's what my tag said. I was thinking she was like so big, so much bigger than
It looks like the skin is a little thicker also than what I'm used to seeing in Jimmy
maybe it
Nardellos,
was.
but
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Yeah,
My first red one, so I'll try today and see the taste.
peppers are
The first.
notorious for getting their not labels. So I mean, people mix them up all the time. Even reputed seed
Yeah,
companies mix up
this
peppers.
one I actually bought this starter at Hudson Valley Seed Company. I live
Uh huh.
close to their retail store, the
Uh huh.
physical store, so I went there and I bought it at the greenhouse.
Uh
So
huh.
I don't know, it could have been, like a miss. I didn't
Oh, if
start
you
this
bought
one
it
from
in a
seed.
greenhouse, even higher chance that you get things like
Exactly.
this because
Yeah,
they have
because
the same
they're
trouble as
so
me who has
busy.
things
They're
with.
so
Yeah,
busy.
they're
And
no
at a much
different
higher
than
scale.
tequila.
If we make mistakes, imagine them. You know what I mean? Like it's,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So
Yes.
yeah, so peppers are still producing for you. Any of the greens have
Yes.
started producing?
So I do the Swiss chard is started for champ on my Greenstalks too. I love growing them because they produce the whole year. I plant
Uh-huh.
them in the spring. They don't die in the summer. I keep harvesting. Maybe you can see back there.
They're a
And then
workhorse.
it just keep. I cut it down. Like I was gonna let go of them, but usually my Greenstalks I don't pull the plants off. I just
Yeah.
cut at the roots of the base, like at the base, to so the roots can decompose in there to keep feeding the soil. And I did that, and it just grew back. It's like, all right, if you want to be here, you're gonna be here in the green stalks. So they grew it. They're beautiful, but there's it's a little thinner stalks. But I even prefer to cook with thinner ones because just chop it up like spinach and put in soups,
Right.
more tender.
Right.
And I don't have any lettuce right now. They all it got too hot for them. I have some kale, not in this green stalk here in the back one inside my main garden. And I have a lot of herbs. I cook a lot, so I love to have
Oh
fresh herbs close
yeah.
to my
Takes
door.
it takes your cooking up a few levels when you cook with fresh herbs, right?
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So
So I have all kinds of roots.
for those of you who are just joining, we've got our special guest, Mari Lyra,
Hmm.
calling in from New York State, and I'm on the West Coast here, California, and we're talking about the differences in our gardening experiences. But hey, I wanted to show you guys. I have
Yes.
got my
You
fall
show us
season.
what you have for your summer. You're still producing
Yeah, I've got this little cage with I'm leaving the cage on because these cabbage looper white butterfly things, they are
I
just
know.
nasty when it comes to seedlings. And I've also got like little critters like voles. Voles are like huge right now in my garden. Do you know what
Yeah.
voles are, you guys? I
I
mean,
know.
they look
Oh,
like
I know
little
what they
mice
are.
with short
Hmm.
tails, and they're nasty.
Yeah, we
So
have groundhogs here. They're huge and they eat
oh, I've heard of
all
groundhog.
everything.
Someone was telling me about
They're
groundhogs.
they're
They're
destructive.
huge and fat. So,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I
But
need
they
to get there.
climbed. They climbed on my green stalk in the spring and ate all my brassicas. They ate all my broccoli, a whole green stalk. It was very sad. But they're
Oh,
not coming so much here now because it's summer, so they're still here. They eat the bottom tiers of my green stalk, but they left the top. No, they're not
I
climbing
would
now.
be
They're
so
getting big.
scared, Marie, if I saw a groundhog like around I'd run a mile. I mean, I posted a video
No, they're
recently.
fine. They're cute.
They- I
They're
don't
not
know
afraid
about
of
that.
me. They let me get so close. I'm like, you should be afraid of me. Run. You
Oh
know?
my gosh. You guys,
Yeah.
you guys who are on the call, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of comments over here. TT means TikTok. Marie, you need
Oh,
to get with the times,
we
Marie.
need to get to TikTok. I'm not on TikTok either. We should do it. Keep each other accountable for that. To
There
do
we
something
go.
to get
Yeah,
TikTok.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I did TikTok once because my sister keeps forwarding TikTok. She's in Australia. She keeps
Hmm.
forwarding TikTok links, and then I was like, then they had this thing where they were like, oh, TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and so a U.S. company needs to. There was something going on politically around TikTok, and then it was down for a while. And I was like, you know what? I just don't want to deal with this. So I got off of TikTok and I haven't got back on. But my sister keeps sending me stuff. She's like, all the good stuff's on TikTok. What Instagram are you talking about? So yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But I interrupted you. You're talking, showing us the cage. Sorry, you're
Oh
showing
yeah,
us the
I
cage
was
in
showing you
your,
guys cage, but
yeah.
I've got. I'll just tell you what I've got. So I've got brassicas. I've got the cauliflower. I've got the cabbage. I've got the broccoli, and I've got kale. I've got a couple of varieties of kale. I have got flowers. I'm growing perennial flowers. So snapdragons, violas, rudbeckias.
I love those.
And I
Oh,
grew
I have those
petunias.
too.
I grew petunias from seed for the first time this year, but petunias don't last through my
I have my
winter.
little.
But look at that!
And those are the ones that I also have snapdragons and rudbeckia, but those are going to be in ground. I'm so sorry, I keep talking
Oh
on my
no,
tripod.
no worries. And then what else?
There's going to be in ground. I never tried them in the green stock. Interesting. Maybe I should try. I have the seedlings.
Petunias grow really well. Actually,
No,
someone on
the perennials.
the
Mm.
Greenstock Facebook group, she posted like an entire tower full of petunias. It was just gorgeous, and I didn't know that petunias are so easy to grow from seed. It's
Mm.
amazingly easy to grow from seed. They're very tiny, so they're like dust, the seed,
It's like
but
snapdragon seeds.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
even
exactly, like
smaller.
snapdragon seeds. But you just sort of
Hmm.
press them on and just keep them somewhere, maybe with one of those seed dome things on them, and they will sprout. And then they seems like they take forever. You know, those tiny seeds. It seems like they take
Hmm.
forever to grow. But once they start growing, they really take off. Right, 6 weeks. 6 weeks from seed to actual flowering for petunias for
Wow.
me. So
Yeah.
you can get some interesting varieties. I got a couple of new varieties from Baker Creek this year, and
Hmm.
they're starting to produce. Oh, here's another thing. Speaking of fall vegetables, right? Pests. We talked about the rodent-like things, but the white butterfly,
Cabbage moss.
petunias are just absolutely prone to caterpillars. I don't know
Mm.
what it
How
is, but
interesting.
and I've never used BT before, Bacillus thuringiensis or something like that is what it stands for. And it's an
Hmm.
organically approved thing that you can spray, and it takes care of caterpillars. I don't like doing that, but I was like picking off these teeny tiny caterpillars, and it was like nonstop, right? And then the
Hmm.
next day I'd come, and the teeny tiny caterpillars had become bigger and bigger, and like my petunias were getting eaten constantly. So finally, I sprayed BT, took care of it in one day.
Yeah.
So sometimes you
I,
got to
I
enjoy
don't,
that.
I don't mind the caterpillars. I read a really interesting book about, it was an entomologist talking about, ecology and the importance of the food system and that of native plants too, and how important caterpillars are for
Yeah,
the birds and so it changed my mind a bit in trying to get
yeah,
rid of them. I'm like, and I'm in a very heavily forested area, so we're close to
yeah,
a very big state park, and I have woods right behind me and everywhere. So I had lots of caterpillars of all kinds this year, and I'm
yeah.
just trying to be like, you know what, they can have some, and I will have some, and it's okay. But I
It's
just kept to
Yeah,
thinking,
but
I have a lot of
if you eat
birds.
it all, if they, especially like your seedlings. If I've had like on my brassica seedlings particularly, I've had
But those are
green
white cabbage
caterpillars.
moths, so we don't
They'll
like
take it
them.
all out,
They're
right?
invasive.
They're not going to
Yeah,
share. They're going to take it all out. But
yeah.
this year, actually, a few
Hmm.
couple of months ago, I got the netting for my green stock, the insect netting. So I'm going to try that. And that
I have
also
that.
is
It's great.
I'm going to have the towers that are dedicated. So one tower is going to be dedicated just to brassicas. The things that the caterpillars go for, and I've got only one of the insect nettings. Though I hear that if you put your green stalks close enough, one of the nettings can actually cover two of your green.
I do that.
You do
So
that? Okay, so I'm
yeah,
gonna.
the I do a brassica green stalk too in the spring. If you guys watch my channel, you know that every spring I usually try to do a broccoli, kale, and I put like some nasturtium, some sort of flower in there to give a little color. But I even though talking about caterpillars, the cabbage moths are super invasive. No one likes them, and they destroy everything. But I do use the netting in the spring, especially because I feel even though it's the insect netting, it does keep getting a little warmer, just like the wind's not as harsh and stuff. And
Yeah.
when they're small, when the plants are small, you can put two green stalks in one of their covers, but once they start growing,
Once
you
they
do
start
have to
growing,
get the
you'll have
plant
to take it
support
off.
because the brassicas get huge. My
They
brassica green
do.
stock looks so nice usually in the spring. I love, but then the groundhog ate that all this year. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do inside my fenced area next year. I have even wire on the ground since they dig down, and they come. So I have to have my whole garden wired down inside my fenced
How
area so
how
they don't
deep
come
how
in.
deep do I've never had groundhogs, famous last words, but how deep do they can they dig?
Probably over a foot. They're huge. Their burrows are like can be I heard up to 40 feet long.
Oh my
So and
God.
they themselves are really big. Their holes are ginormous when we see them in the back there. But
Oh,
they're very strong. They're very good diggers. So they are very our soil is very rocky. I am
uh-huh.
amazed how can they make tunnels because I can barely dig. I like put a shovel without hitting a rock. But they are yeah
They're
they
really strong.
yeah,
The
so
other,
instead of doing the fence
uh-huh.
under, I actually, and the whole bottom of my garden has chicken wire. And
Oh
then
my
I fenced
gosh.
on that. So
What a
not
lot
just
of
coming
work.
off.
Yeah.
I mean, since it's a brand new garden, I had just
You,
started. That was a good thing. So it was I first moved here. I'm renting. My landlord said, hey, we have a lot of groundhogs. She gardens too. It's a beautiful garden.
yeah.
Beautiful. So many things. And she told me, it's like, I'll give you the fencing and the wiring because she was happy that she was getting a tenant that also gardens.
Huh.
So she told me, before we start from the beginning, just do it and you'll be so grateful. And I did, and so far so good. So knock on wood,
That is
now the
so
garden
smart of
hasn't been,
so smart of
yeah,
you to check with the neighbors to see what kind of issues
yeah.
they have before actually going, diving in. So,
Hmm.
Sunshine Country Chicken says, I'm having issues with mold using the netting covers.
Oh, how
Heartbreaking because I
interesting.
bought 5 covers. I'm going to try to use them again over winter. Mold, huh? So the covers themselves are getting mold, or are the plants getting mold under the covers? So, I
How humid and what's your climate?
yeah,
Interesting. Like it must be very
where are you
humid. Where are
calling
you
in from?
gardening from?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. Anyway, that's interesting. I'm
yeah, that
gonna
happens
find
to
out
me.
some new things, I guess,
Yeah.
with the covers. She says she's got a chicken channel. Oh, Sunshine Country Chicken.
One day I
Oh
love
my
to have
God.
chicken.
I love chickens. So when I was growing up, I grew up in India. We had 13 chickens, and I can recite all their names. I'm not going to do it live over here, but I can recite all their names. And oh my gosh, we had so much fun with chickens, and my mother used to feed. Yeah, it was just great. And I wanted to get chickens in my backyard as well, but we've got coyotes, and
Hmm.
I think my
We
heart
have
would
coyotes
break.
and bears and raccoons here.
Oh, you've got bears?
We got bears. I see bears all the time. I'm in
What?
the woods. Yeah. My house is kind of like inside the forest. Yeah.
Okay, I thought groundhogs were bad enough. You've got bears. Oh my goodness gracious.
The black
Okay.
bears though, they're not like in California. They don't have grizzlies like you guys. Those are very aggressive. So
Uh-huh.
here we only have the black bears, and they are not saying no bears is friendly, but they are scared of us. In the beginning, when I first moved here, I was a bit cautious. I see them and I get scared, but they run when they see me or if I make noise. So the ones around me, at least, because we are. It's called Hartman State Park. It's a huge park in New York that's preserved. And then
Yeah.
my house is the street over. So like they come off the park to come to it's very, very close to the woods. So basically there's nothing behind me other than this park. So that's why there's so much wildlife activity. We have foxes and coyotes. We love seeing them. We have a pond. They come to our pond to drink water, but they're not aggressive. I mean, and I don't know. The neighbors say as long as you don't entice them, or you respect their
So
space, is
can you
respect
can
their
you like
space.
have a compost heap in your backyard, or is that out of the question?
I have I'm a little afraid of that. My neighbor, next door neighbor, has a three bean system compost. She's been here for 30 years. She said they never went there because she's good with like having like wood chips from chip drop and stuff. And I don't know where she gets that from, but she always after putting food scraps, she would always do a nice layer of mulch of like
Uh-huh.
wood chips, like thick mulch. And she
Uh-huh.
never had a problem, so she just takes longer her compost too. And her garden's amazing. She doesn't do any fertilizer or anything, just from her own garden,
Wow.
composting
No,
and food. But she's been doing it
compost
for
is
so
amazing.
long.
It would break my
Yeah.
heart if I couldn't compost because I had bears. And
So
if I
I
have
do
bears, I won't compost.
I do the Vigo composter.
Uh-huh.
They gifted me one last year. It's been really great. So I put my food scraps in there and it kind of cooks it and dries it. It's not really compost. It's like an
Oh, okay.
amendment.
So the kitchen countertop one.
Yeah. And
Ah,
then I do that. It's like runs non-stop in my kitchen because I have a mold that you can always keep putting. It's not inside my kitchen, it's in the garage now because I have limited counter space. But I use that to put in my compost out here because I'm afraid of the animals. I'm still cautious, and so I don't want them sniffing, and so I would do that. But I'm trying to compost. I was better in New York City, believe it or not. Ironically, New York City made more compost than I'm making here. But so I have so much to do. Our property is so big. I have a
Yeah.
lot of work, so it's just been. I want to get better at it, but it's. I mean, I have a passive pile. I throw stuff in this pile, but I'm not managing the pile, so
Oh
it can
gosh.
be, you
Yeah.
know.
I would be really scared. Okay, Marie, are
It's
you
okay. It's
ready
okay.
for a game? And
Yes.
this game is not just for you, it is also for everyone on the call. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rapid fire ask you some questions,
Mm.
mostly gardening related, nothing personal.
Okay.
Um, and uh, and while you answer, I want the people on the call to answer as well.
Sounds
So
great.
I'll give a couple of seconds after you're done with your answer, and so they can also answer, type in their answer. So people on the call, the viewers, please get your typing, whatever your typing skills are, get them going because you're gonna have to type fast.
Hmm.
All right, are you ready, Marie?
Yes.
Okay. What is the very first crop you're planting in your green stock this fall?
That I'm planting this fall. Carrots.
Carrots. Okay.
Will
Second? The second?
be beets,
Beets. Okay. Oh, yeah. Nice.
and then
We'll
I'll
talk about
do the
beets in a
greens.
little bit.
Yeah.
All
Sure.
right. People on the call, what's your very first crop you're planting in your green stock this fall? Type it in quick. All right. Uh, M. Minsky says lettuce. I think Mary Margaret, right? That's your name. I'm growing like a full tower of lettuce this year. All right. Ready for your next question. Which summer crop are you most sad to pull out?
Tomatoes. I
Oh,
always. I love
yeah.
my tomatoes.
Yeah. Same here. Favorite herb to grow in the fall?
Parsley.
Parsley. Okay. For me, it's cilantro.
I don't have luck with cilantro. It would be cilantro if I could grow it. It never does well for me any season that I plant.
And
But I
then,
grew up in Brazil and I had lots of cilantro growing up. I only ate cilantro.
okay, so
It was
you're not one of
amazing.
those that it tastes like soap.
No,
Huh?
I love
Okay.
cilantro. What I'm from in Brazil, we eat with almost every
You have
dish.
to have cilantro.
Delicious.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
from India. Like cilantro's in
Yeah.
every dish. My
In
mother-in-law
Brazil
cannot
too.
cannot eat it, so I can't really add it
Oh.
to the dish. I have to keep it like separately. Anyway, my son neither. I feel so sad for them. So if you had to pick only one, spinach or kale?
Kale.
All
100%.
right.
Yeah.
All right. People on the call, spinach or kale? Where are my spinach warriors? I prefer spinach. All right. What is your secret weapon for extending the season? Cover, mulch, or just gamble?
Cover. I use my frost covers for the Greenstalks, and I also do hoops for my beds.
All right. For me, I guess I because I put stuff in my greenhouse, I guess it's cover as well. So, but I do gamble. I do gamble a lot. I'm like,
I
let's
gamble
just
too.
see if you can make it.
Yeah.
All right. Next, biggest pest you're battling right now: squirrels, aphids,
Groundhog.
or something else. This is groundhogs or bears?
Groundhogs. Groundhogs. The bears don't bother my garden. The bears, I see them out. They leave. But the groundhogs, they come and they. It's starting to drizzle right now. I might have to go inside in a minute. But
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Don't get wet.
groundhogs are my.
Definitely don't get hailed on. You said that you were gonna be
Oh yeah, we're
expecting
most.
hail.
I hope
All
it
right.
doesn't
Next
come.
question. One. Okay. Fall flowers in the green stock. Yay or nay?
I don't know much about like mums. I would. I love flowers. What would you do for fall flowers in your green stock? Is a great question. I never did.
I'm all about nasturtiums, violas,
Oh, okay. I have nasturtiums. Sure.
calendula.
The
Yeah.
nasturtiums because they're already growing in the green
Oh,
stock there.
nice, nice. Oh,
The violas
nasturtiums.
usually I do for spring. I love doing violas in spring.
Nice. All right. One word to describe how your summer garden ended.
It hasn't ended yet. Continued. I don't know. It's
But
still
so far,
going.
how's it been so
So
far?
far.
One word.
Uh, Abundant.
Abundant. Very nice. I
It's a
think
good one
I
for
think
first
my
year
my
gardening.
summer garden also has been more abundant than usual, and that's partly because we've had a very cool summer. It's not been as hot as it usually is,
Hmm.
so things have been lasting long. I've been getting more tomatoes for sure. All
Hmm.
right. Do you succession sow carrots or just plant one and done?
Succession. I try to at least succession. So, but I
Succession.
don't have the best luck with carrots. I'm still learning with carrots too. Beets
Oh,
I find it easier and radishes, but
yeah.
carrots I will learn. I keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I like to succession plant mainly because it also helps me figure out when the best time is to
And
plant.
after
It's
the one I
like,
eat like 20 carrots, I will. I mean, I will with my full green stock, but usually I like to pick. so I can keep continuously cooking. You
Yeah.
know, the big harvest can be overwhelming sometimes, so
Yeah.
it's good to have it staggered. I think it's the best. It's
I
for
think so
learning and for
too.
eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think, yeah, but carrots, especially in like New York and all that, don't they stay in the ground like literally forever and you can
You
pull it
know,
out
I
when you
tried
need
to do
it?
that and they froze and they got gross. Like they,
Oh,
I don't know if my
really? They
soil,
don't
they
get
just
sweeter.
froze.
Oh,
I mean, they do get sweeter. No, this is true. You know, when I work in fine dining restaurants, we used to put beets and carrots in the freezer when we came, they got received for 24 hours at least before, believe it or not, like just from delivery, we put in the freezer so they freeze, and then they and then we use it for service or make things with it, so to
and
help
the
them to
sugars kind
develop
of
the sugars.
concentrate when you do that, huh?
Yeah, that's what I heard there. But I mean, so I thought the carrots would be okay frozen, but mine they just didn't. I mean, the ground froze solid. First of all, you can't pull out the carrots if it's frozen, and then when I took it off, they're mushy. So I don't know if it was user error, but I feel that I've seen in the internet a lot of people say just store your carrots in the ground. I tried to do that I think a couple years ago, not last year because I was moving,
Well,
obviously,
you're
but
gonna have to
it didn't work
you
for
or
me.
someone on the call is gonna have to tell me because we don't have enough cold days for me to experiment with frozen carrots.
Don't
All
worry,
right,
no problem. That's a great problem to have to not
that's a
deal
great
with the
problem to
frost.
have. All right, what's
Yeah.
your dream fall harvest snack straight out of your green stuff?
Say that again.
Your dream fall harvest snack
Hmm.
straight out of the green stock.
It would be peas. They're my favorites in
Peas.
the
Oh, I
spring too.
love peas. Oh my
I
gosh.
prefer than tomatoes. I love it's my favorite snack. They never make it to my kitchen. I eat them all before. They're so
Same
crunchy
here.
and sweet. It's like
Okay,
amazing.
I'll tell you guys something weird about me. Something
Mhm.
that I like eating straight out of the green stalk. It's not a fall vegetable, it's a summer vegetable. Um Okra.
Oh. I never did okra on my green stalks, but I love okra too. I grew up eating a
Oh,
lot of okra
okay.
in
Yeah,
Brazil.
I know that some people don't like the texture. They
Oh,
feel
I
it's like,
love it.
but I ate it straight out of the, fresh, raw. Because you when you get it in the grocery store, it's kind of,
It's
it's
not the same thing.
not
At
the,
least for me, growing up, what I've in Brazil, the ones here, they're usually too tough. I
yeah.
think they don't pick them young enough, so they're too
I don't know what
fibrous to my taste
it's
already,
not
and they're
sweet
old.
at all. Yeah,
Huh?
but if you eat it fresh, it's actually kind of sweet. It's got and
Yeah,
it doesn't
and
have that
crunchy.
slimy texture that the grocery store stuff has. Yeah, so
Hmm.
yeah, grow your own. All right, here's a good one. Pumpkin pumpkin spice latte. Love it or leave it.
Leave it. Not a fan.
Not a
I
fan.
find
All
it
right.
unless I make it because the ones from the stores are way too sweet and they taste fake to me, artificial. But if someone
Uh,
makes me a blend and put some real milk and maple syrup sort of sweetener, maybe I'll like it. But I
I've
haven't
done
been
that.
won over
I've
that
done that.
either.
So what I
Yeah.
do is I actually like lightly cook the pumpkin or even any kind of sweetish kind of
Real
squash,
pumpkin, not a, yeah,
real
sure.
pumpkin, and then I freeze it in ice cubes. And then
Oh,
I pop it in the blender along with my coffee, cold or hot or whatever, and like you said, maple syrup, a sprinkling of cinnamon or allspice.
oh, I'm gonna go to California. Maybe you're gonna dream of me in your backyard. You're gonna be serving me pumpkin spice lattes over there.
I'm gonna make you a
I
real
love it.
pumpkin spice latte when you come here, Marie.
Sure, I
So
should try it. I think but my reference is all from these big chains, and for theirs, I don't really like it, and I never really make it at home. But
okay.
yeah.
All right, here's another one. Okay, now this one is gonna get confrontational. People on the
Hmm.
call, are you ready? East Coast versus West Coast fall season. Who's got it better?
West Coast, 100%. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
you're not gonna
Scousers.
argue about this.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Scousers. I'm from Brazil. I'm from the tropics. I like warmth, so I think that being in a warmer place would always win for me. So
Oh
I'm sorry,
God.
fellow New Yorkers out here.
I don't know. See, the thing that
And I love California, actually, and the Pacific
California
Northwest.
is lovely. I
Yeah.
am not going to deny that. But I used to work for General Mills, a couple of years ago. In their headquarters is in Minnesota, and so I traveled to Minnesota to Minneapolis every couple of weeks or so. I would be there for a week, and watching the seasons change, the fall colors. Oh my gosh, you don't get that in California. You don't get those
Yeah.
colors in
You know,
California.
I heard that when I lived in Hawaii for a long time, it's like 7 years, and people in Hawaii used to tell me, they're like, oh, I love the mainland here, the
Yeah,
continental
yeah.
US, because of the colors. And I moved here in New York, and I find them okay. I mean, what I am, there's beautiful colors too, especially now, but that doesn't wow me as much as eternal
Okay.
summer. I
Okay.
love being the eternal summer for some reason,
Yeah,
but it's just me. And the spring with the flowers is beautiful too. But maybe I'm too conditioned to the bright sun in my eyes the whole year that
probably. That's
the
pretty easy.
cold
That's
is
pretty
so
easy to get
uncomfortable.
used to. Yeah. Yeah, no, I would not
Yeah.
move to Minnesota, but
Yeah, I mean, to visit is beautiful. If you come in the fall. I
yeah,
love the
but I
first days of
definitely
fall,
would
but then it
visit.
gets too cold and starts snowing, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm ready for spring.
Yeah.
So, and I love spring. I do love spring, even though it's rainy. I do like that. I prefer than fall because I'm a gardener and it's
Yeah,
time to
yeah.
be out and then the
Nice.
flowers. Yeah.
Hi, Wanda. Wanda says that she does not
Oh,
have any green stocks, but she loves watching our content. That's so sweet.
oh, nice to see
Yeah, I
you.
do. It's funny. Maria and I both do much more than green stock content, but
Hmm.
I do these live streams once a month, and it's always on the first Saturday of the month. And the I asked my viewers in a poll once whether they want green stock content or whether they want more general content, because frankly, between you and I'd like to actually talk about other things as well. But everyone was like, "Oh, we want to hear green stock stuff." I'm like, "Okay, you get what you want, so I will do green
Yeah.
stuff." But
Green stocks
maybe
do
people
very
will
well on my
graduate to
channel
other things.
too.
What's
A
that?
lot of people, green stocks do really well on my channel too because a lot of my viewers on my channel found me through green stock. I think my highest numbers of subscribers come from my green stock videos.
Absolutely. I mean,
So
gosh,
I love them too. I
my
wish I could
mother
have
used
more.
to.
I'm having a bit of a struggle because I live in a shaded area, I'm in the
Okay,
forest. So
yeah,
I don't have a lot of flat spaces to put them anymore. So I have this here, but I'm like, I wish I could now that I have more space, I just wish I had less shade so I could have like 10 of them lining up. And then I would do
yeah.
one of
I
each
mean,
thing, like one
I
whole
want more
carrot, so one
green
whole
stocks too, but it's they get. So I'm at 12 now. How many are you at?
7.
7. Okay,
But they
I'm at
just sent
12.
me another one, so
They
when I
just
put
sent
that
you
up, I'll
another,
be
so
8.
you're at 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and it's like, so, just sort of switching gears. I want to finish these questions, but
Yeah,
switching
sorry.
gears to we'll
Hmm.
switch gears to how you refresh the soil in your green stock, because I think that's important.
Hmm.
But here's another one. Would you rather have a never-ending basil harvest or a never-ending lettuce harvest?
Lettuce.
Lettuce? Same here. Though I have to tell you, the basil's been pretty amazing. Okay,
Hmm.
your fall gardening motto. Motto. What would you say? 3 words or 5 words to describe your fall gardening. Just three to 5 words. Your fall gardening motto.
Try to get it right. I don't know. How
Try
about
to get
timing? How about
It's
timing? I don't
all
know.
about timing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that mine is kind of the motto of my channel: live green and love your greens. Because fall for me is
Oh,
all
that's
about
so nice.
greens, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Type in the
love that.
comments, you guys. What's your fall motto in 3 to 5 words?
Yeah,
Anyway,
I was unexpected with that one. I didn't know what to say.
that's good.
Yeah,
Timing is
yours is
everything. I think that's
amazing.
a really good one. So anyway,
Yeah.
thank you. You passed the test, Marie. I'm kidding. So I want to talk just very briefly about how we are sort of doing things to refresh the
Transition.
soil, because I was watching an Instagram video popped up when I was on Instagram, which reminds me, check out Instagram, you guys. Marie has got a fantastic Instagram channel, and
Okay.
I've got a growing Instagram channel, right?
Mine's
So
growing too. Both of
yeah,
us. Check out both of our
check
channels.
out both
That
of
would
our
be nice.
channels, but Marie's channel is
Or
Marie's Garden
phases
and Kitchen,
and
so check
kitchen.
that out. I'm Greenlove121, because who's going to remember three random numbers, right? So that's my channel.
Mhm.
But yeah, what do you do to refresh your green stock soil between seasons?
So
Do you completely replenish once a year, something like that?
I have so this green stock you see behind me, beautifully lush green. It's my oldest green stock. It's going its 5th season now, and it has never had a soil change. So I have never changed the soil on my green stocks. What I do though is I amend seasons. Like now in the fall, it's growing wonderfully, so I'm not going to do it. But usually, if it's not doing so far good at this time, I will take out what's not doing well, and then I'll just put like an inch of compost and then I will plant right over it. And I do fertilize. I try to use more like organic fertilizers. So I use fish and seaweed, or I even do like a molasses drench. So, because my thing, I feel like if the soil is alive there, so as I mentioned before too, I don't pull my crops out of my green stock. I'll cut them by the base, and then I hope that the roots start staying there decompose and help feed in the soil too, which can be controversial because people tell me, no, you should take it out. The roots are going to be all root bound. But eventually, if you keep the, all of the life in the soil on your green stalks or in your beds or in your ground happy, that's, for my experience, things are going to naturally happen. So this year I was actually considering to next spring do a whole soil change on that one. But then look at that. I mean, like
It's
something is not,
gorgeous.
yeah. And I say I fertilize. I'll be honest. I forget. I'm not the greatest fertilizer. It's not like every Friday like some people do. When I remember and I try to put reminders, but then happen to be when I'm in the city working, it pops up and I come home and forget. So it's like it's not as good as it could be with the fertilizing and taking care, but adding compost and life to my soil. So once I put, I try to sometimes put if I get a seedling, I would get the roots and some mycorrhizae
Oh
powder,
yeah, okay,
inoculant, and then I'll put
mycorrhiza.
in there.
Okay,
Yeah. So
okay.
so very simple for
What
me.
about
I
the
just
so
add
sorry,
compost.
I was sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Mm-hmm.
what about the drainage? Do you find any issues at all with
I
drainage?
never had so my through the planters itself, the pockets. I never had an issue. I can see that if they're oversaturated, they would drain to the next pocket. The discs, the watering discs, though, I do wash them. So what I try to
Okay,
do a couple times a year, if I'm amending the planter, I will take it apart anyway, and then I will wash the discs. But now
okay,
with the lids, I have lids in all of my green stalks.
okay,
They're doing really good. So I don't feel it's getting clogged because sometimes if debris falls through the watering discs, then it will clog the little discs, and you will notice that the bottom of the green stalks are not as well watered as the top. So once I actually put the leaves on mine, I have never had that problem. It's growing good all over, and I never water my green stalks with the pockets, never,
oh
unless I put
wow.
seedlings in there. So because I get to like my plants, I don't know if they struggle a bit, I'm a bit tough on them, but I always look through the watering systems because I want to train the roots to go to
To
the
grow
center of the
deeper.
planter, which is
I'm gonna try that
cooler.
because I do, because my green stocks are used year round, right? So
Oh yeah,
by
might
the
have a
way,
break in the winter.
you guys on the
Yeah.
call, if you've got any questions, curious about your strategy around refreshing the soil in the green stock, do you just backfill? Do you refresh? I do it like once a year. And for me, I've had some really big problems. One of the really big problems that I've had is black widows. I get
Ugh.
black widows. Yeah,
I'm
I know.
I'm
It's
more
just
scared of spiders than bears. See, I was like, they're fine, and they tell me a spider. I'm like, oh my god, I have
uh,
a lot of spiders here, but they're not venomous. The little ones,
my daughter
the
is
good
like
ones.
you. She will run a mile. I mean, literally, when she comes home from college, she's like, "Mom, have you cleaned all the spiders in my room? Because I do not want to see a single spider in my room." So yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm okay with spiders and black widows particularly. I'm a little bit careful though because if I
They're
mean they don't
venomous.
they usually they will scatter as soon as you open them. They're exposed to sunlight. They're gone,
So
right?
they're inside of your watering discs.
They're inside the gray saucers, yes, in the watering
Oh,
discs. I
how did
don't
I
know how
get
they
there?
get
Wow,
in there.
interesting.
And I've got covers on all of mine, so they are somehow getting in through the soil. I don't know what it is, but they get into it. And then the other problem that I've had, and this is when I used to grow more aggressive plants like mint and things. Okay, number one, mint will grow through the
Uh,
holes, and
I
they
have
will
I have
grow.
lemon balm that's doing this,
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
have to
They will
put in the
grow into
bottom
all the
tier.
tiers. So
Yeah,
don't
put
think
in the
that you
bottom
can
tiers.
yeah, don't
Yeah.
think that you can restrict your mint to one tier. They will find their
Hmm.
way everywhere they want to go. But I've had actually the gray watering discs sort of bend in because roots were pushing
Wow.
into them. So for me, I think because I use my green stocks so much, it's like constant, right? It's never they never get a break. So I find that taking it down and sort of I don't throw out the soil. I always reuse the soil because, like you said, the soil will improve
Hmm.
over the years. But I do kind of shake it out. I throw the roots back and then I throw in some perlite, I throw in some compost, and I throw in some slow release
I'm starting
fertilizer.
to.
But
Hmm.
yeah, I do want to wash my gray discs particularly. But I'm going to try what you said, just
Yeah,
washing the little gray saucers.
but your point is great, which I have thought about. Mine, they don't really make through the winter. They will have things growing in them with the chance that, like sometimes the kale will just live there for the whole winter, and you're like, wow,
Okay.
But mostly they go dormant. So I don't know if that time has time for the soil to sort of break down a bit. It's not like actively growing. I've heard that having roots actively growing year round is better for the microbes in the soil.
Yeah.
But I can see how also if the plants get too big and just keep growing. So maybe because I have a cutoff, in
Maybe that
that
makes a difference. At least I'm hoping that I'm
that's a
not doing
great
a whole
point.
bunch of work in vain. All right, we have
I
just about
have to
5
move
minutes.
inside, guys. I'm sorry because it's
Yes,
raining right
you
now.
walk inside, but I'm going to use the last 5 minutes of this call
I will show
to
my other
share with
garden.
you guys all the FAQs that were put on the Instagram website for the upcoming October sale. So
That's
October
gonna be
1st
here.
to the 21st, the Greenstock's going to have a complete warehouse clearance sale. All colors are
Oh
going to be
yeah.
available in both basket weave as well as in the original, the smooth surface, if you will. So they
Hmm.
put some FAQs. The thing about not being on Instagram, or at least if you don't see Instagram stories that day, it's like gone the next day, right? So you gotta like
Hmm.
check every day. That's part of, I guess, their strategy to keep you on their platform. But here are some of the questions that they have shared so far. Will the prices be better than the usual sale prices? So the answer from Greenstock is this depends on the colors that you want. Again, all colors will be on sale, but some will be marked down more than others. It could go either way. Interesting. All right. Then the next question, will the base be included on the sale? That was one of my quick questions, which I forgot to ask you. Your favorite accessory, Marie? For me, it's
The
definitely
spinner. The spinner. I
full
love the
base.
spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, won't be on sale during this specific event. All right. So if they have a flash sale before that, and if you're planning to get, anything at the warehouse sale, get a spinner. All
I
right.
always feel the flash sales are the best to
The
get a
flash
spinner.
sales are
They're a
always the
whole
best.
different
Prices
Greenstalk
are always
experience,
the
you
best.
guys. Yeah,
Absolutely.
the spinner is a must because you have to be able to turn your planters. I
Yeah.
feel, you know.
All right. Will individual planters also be on sale or just the entire vertical planters? And the answer is yes, individual tiers and components will be on sale. Will any accessories be on sale? Yes.
Oh, I
I
didn't
guess not.
know.
I guess not the base, but yes. Stay tuned for which ones you can expect to see on sale. So, Marie and I will keep an eye open for you guys when Greenstock posts which accessories are going to be on sale. If you're not on Instagram, but if you are on Instagram, definitely follow Greenstock Garden because they post a lot of good stuff there. All right,
Hmm.
how deep of a discount can we expect? Good question. While we don't have these details set in stone, some colors will be marked down more than others. Not all colors will be the same price. Okay, it's luck of the draw. Depends on which color you want, I guess.
Yeah, I
Then,
think it's maybe by demand or whatever they have
yeah,
available
whatever they
because it's
have,
a,
it's
a
clearance
sale,
sale, right?
warehouse sale. So,
They're trying to
oh,
clean up. Then
oh my gosh, a
the
bee's
the
trying to.
last question that they have here is: will all colors be available in basket weave and inventors bundle? I'd love to get four. So somebody asked that question, and the answer is all colors will be available in basket and basic textures, but inventors bundle will not be included on the sale. All right. Okay, so those are the questions so far. And like I said, we'll try and keep you guys updated. Check out our community posts. I like to post in community posts. And definitely, please go ahead and follow Marie. Her channel is
Thank you.
absolutely amazing. Where's your channel again, Marie? It is Marie's Garden and Kitchen. And maybe for an
Yeah.
upcoming video, Marie, we can kind of cook together. I'll cook Indian food,
Yes.
you cook Brazilian
Maybe
food.
we can do a lot. Oh my God, there's so many ideas. We'll talk about
So
it more.
we'll talk
Yeah.
about it.
You
It
don't
was
know what? Indian food is one of my favorite foods. I
Oh my
love. You
gosh.
guys
And
are
let's do
masters
some
of
great
spices.
Brazilian
The
recipes.
combinations of spice is like I love Indian food. I love to
Oh,
get better at cooking
I've
and
got
stuff.
a lot of tricks up my sleeve for you
Oh
to
my
make it
goodness.
amazing. So, but
Yeah.
thank you, Marie, so much for joining. This was absolutely so much fun, and thank you to everyone who tuned into this live stream. And of course, the live stream is going to be available once we hang up over here. Unfortunately, this free version of StreamYard, I cannot really share the live stream on Marie's channel. So, Marie, you're going to have to point back to this
Sure
one, but
have.
definitely
Hmm.
follow Marie. And thank you so much once again, everybody, and especially you, Marie.
No problem. I just want to give like 2 minutes, like a little quick tips for the transition. So for my
Please
green
do.
stocks, I feel like Tara and I talked before. Don't don't wait too long until your things are like take off things that are not producing well to make space for your fall garden. If you wait, you might not have enough time to get your greens and get
Right.
your carrots and beets and stuff that we will be happy to have in the fall. So
Yeah.
be a bit ruthless, cut off the things that are not producing so much, or pick a few things that you might not be eating so much right now. And then I mean just soil compost if you can, or if you're in the West Coast have to, make sure to take care of your soil too before you plant your new crop. And then timing is everything. So
Timing is
it's a
everything.
but
Let's
that
leave
would
it on
depend on
that
your
note.
vision. Yeah,
Timing is
depends.
everything. Thanks
Yeah.
so much. Take care, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Okay. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.